Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Couch to Crit. Season 2 with EJ. We're actually on a couch, but we're not going to go do a crit. First, we're going to
get my bike fit today. It's about time. I need it. My lower back is hurting.
Let's do it. Okay, so for those who don't know, Couch to Crit is this challenge in a way. Can we take an athlete, this guy right here, with couch level fitness, couch level understanding, meaning he has no prior experience or endurance training, and can we get a crit win within a year? That's the idea. So if you want to learn more about EJ's weight loss journey up to this point, he made a video on the second channel. It's going to be right here, but today we're going to talk about bike fit. Okay, so full transparency, we actually got his fit last week with our boy Jackson up at the Mike's Bikes in San Rafael.
But I've been really busy editing this week, so I haven't ridden my bike yet, which I'm looking forward to. We're going to do that at the end of this episode and try it out. But I want to kind of walk you guys through what Jackson did for this fit, because it blew me away.
Yeah, so let's just talk about like the top 3, 5 maybe things during your bike fit that surprised you most, because this was your first time, like before you got the bike, you just set it up kind of the way you thought it should feel.
We set up right over here. I remember shipping the bike to Jeff's house, and I came here, we set it up, and we just kind of guesstimated everything, and I was like, you know what, let's just rip it.
But we weren't even close.
No,
right?
we were pretty far off.
Tell them about your saddle. That was one of the most surprising things to me.
So my saddle was way too high, like kind of obnoxiously too high.
Jackson was like, you guys are high.
He was like, you guys are pretty far off. But yeah, so we took that down quite a few millimeters.
With every adjustment I make, I'll let you know how it looks. I also want to hear your subjective feedback. Does it feel better? Does it feel worse? Does it just feel different? What feels different? And remember, right now, we're just thinking about the back end of the bike.
But what does that mean? Because a high saddle isn't just looks silly. Like there's like...
No, yeah, so we're leaving power on the table. One thing that Jackson talks about that I had absolutely no idea. You know, lowering that saddle, you're actually getting more power sitting in the saddle, which is really, really cool.
Typically, higher is safer on knees, lower is more powerful.
Because?
Muscle usage. As you're getting higher, you're not driving with the more powerful muscles in the quad. So a common symptom of your saddle being too high is, well, your quad is 4 muscles. The lower one that's more towards the inside, if you feel that muscle being sore, that one is most activated towards the end of extension. So if you're feeling that muscle, your saddle is probably too high.
Activating bigger muscle groups.
Yeah.
Like you're just getting more power, you're objectively more power with a lower saddle.
Yeah, and I think it was one of the problems that was leading to some of the knee pain
Bingo.
that I was getting as well.
There's more benefits to this too, because it's really the trifecta, because a higher saddle means your whole body is shifted up. Yeah. So he's also getting more aerodynamic. We found this out like right off the bat. And that was just the first thing that Jackson found out. He then moved on to the cockpit. All this stuff is connected, by the way. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But he made some serious adjustments to EJ's cockpit. I think the major thing is everything was lowered a little bit. Again, more aero.
Yep.
And also, he rotated your bars a bit, so you're in a much more balanced position over the bike. Balanced position means your center of gravity is over the bike. You're able to corner better. All of these things are so consequential for crit racing.
Yeah, and honestly, like being someone who is new to this, I was blown away about how in-depth this was. It was so cool. Like when I got there, I was just kind of thinking, we're gonna hop on the bike. He's gonna, you know, mess with my saddle.
Take a couple of measurements.
Yeah,
we'll be
done in like 20 minutes. You know, like I really wasn't expecting it to be this 2.5 hour process.
Yeah.
He, you know, when I got there, he sat me down on a table, stretched me. Like
there's a body fit component to it too.
Yeah, exactly. A body fit, like learned specifically about my body and how to fit it to this bike. I was very, very impressed.
So this was completely different from my first experience getting my bike fit. I had the sensors on, you know, my joints. They put that information into a computer, it spits out a fit. This was a much more manual, and I felt there was much more of a personal touch to your fit, because Jackson's been doing this for a long time, right?
Yeah.
Like he knew exactly what to look out for, but he also gave like real world at home skills and tools that you guys can use. We're gonna talk a little bit more about that later. For things like he had you sit on a piece of cardboard for the indentations in your sit bones to measure your, like all of this was very cool.
And that also helped relieve some back pain.
So let's talk about the back pain. That was another thing too.
So there was 2 things that I had going in there that I wanted fixed after riding for a couple months just out of the box on this bike. One was the back pain. I was getting a lot of pain kind of in my lower right back. Anywhere over 20, 30 miles, it was really starting to tighten up.
And the knee issues we already talked about.
Yeah, and then the knee issue was another one. And literally within, the first 20, 30 minutes of Jackson stretching me out, he's like, yep, this is where you're tight. Let's get you on the bike.
He was like, do you sit at a computer all day? And
Yeah.
I was like cracking the whip. He's like my editor.
Yeah, so, Jeff has me sit at a computer for probably 23 hours out of the day. I sleep for 1 usually.
He's lucky. Yeah.
But then, so Jackson honestly knew just from stretching me out on the table that I sat at a computer.
Hip flexors, right? Yeah.
He knew what was tight, and then he's like, I'm pretty sure I know how to fix this. Got on the bike, he's like, yep, that's it. Boom, 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 move this around, move the saddle around a little bit, move my cockpit. And like instantly, I just was like, whoa.
Yeah, big difference. And the special part about EJ's experience is it was truly the trifecta we talked about. Reducing pain, becoming more powerful, getting more aerodynamic. Like, choose one, maybe two if you're lucky.
Yeah.
EJ's like, give them to me.
Yeah,
So,
luckily I got all three. And I mean, a lot of it has to do with how kind of hastily Jeff and I first set this bike up when we got it. We were excited.
I'm not taking any credit for
Okay,
that.
it was mainly me. I was just excited to go out and ride. Honestly, like, I was just so stoked with that experience. It was sick.
So let's talk about why this is important, why we're doing this now as opposed to like June. You want to get everything dialed just right on your bike. The first order of business. This is why we're in episode 2 now of season 2 talking about bike fit, because we haven't even started training yet. You have to get your bike fit properly before you actually start into any serious interval work or anything like that to reduce the amount of injury that you were destined for failure if you just tried to like soldier through pain. Like, that's not the way it's supposed to look. I know people look at a cycling saddle and they're like, how bad does that hurt? I don't know if you're wait, you don't have coworkers. I don't know if
You're my only coworker.
I don't know if people who look at your road bike, if they do this with me, they look at it and they say like, oh my God, how much does that hurt? It's like, well, not at all, because it's fit perfectly for me. All the weight is on your sit bones, and that's just the saddle. You get everything dialed, and your bike should feel very, very comfortable. If you're gonna be on it for hours a day, you have to have it fit perfectly in order to minimize injury. But like I said earlier, that's not where the story ends. A fit also means performance, because you can get in a lower, more aerodynamic position, really important for crit racing, and more power. You're engaging larger muscle groups. You'd be surprised at how much you can increase your FTP by getting a fit. It's like counterintuitive, it blows my mind. So do it early, and what do you think? Should we go on a ride?
Let's do it. First thing tomorrow morning, dude. I cannot wait. It's too late right now, unfortunately. It's like 9:30 at night. I know you guys can't tell because we have this beautiful studio set up here at NorCal Studios LLC. But tomorrow morning, we're gonna go on a ride. I have been waiting all week for this. Been very busy editing, but I can't wait, dude. It's gonna be fun.
Cheers.
Well, how'd it feel?
Dude, felt great besides it being a little bit of a California winter. It got cold out there, to be honest. had to put an extra jacket on, but all that aside, fit felt amazing. Dude, back pain gone. Like my right knee, which was the one that was having the tracking issue, it feels great.
Yeah.
My feet aren't numb.
Feels different?
It feels different, yeah. And like honestly, like I just felt, I don't really know how to describe it, just more comfortable in corners, especially. Like when we were ripping down Highway 9.
That's that lower center of gravity.
Yeah, no, like I was able to get a little bit lower and just like, I was like, wow, okay, I can push this a little bit further than I kind of was before. I think, again, I don't really know, but my guess would be it's because my saddle was so high up, I kind of just felt like a little bit off on the bike when I was kind of like turning and kind of felt off kilter.
Call that baby giraffe.
Yeah, you can speak more to that because, again, I really don't know too much about this, but...
So a lot of this, yes, you're going to get immediate benefits in terms of the power, the aerodynamics, the stuff we talked about. But the injury-related stuff, even if you're not symptomatic like EJ was, we're like, oh, my back kind of hurts, my knee kind of hurts. This might be a thing where all of a sudden it's too late. Yeah, you don't feel anything, and all of a sudden you have like knee pain, because I've gone through this before. You had knee pain related to bad fit, that all of a sudden is a thing that is going to require you to take 6 weeks off the bike, which is like season destroying. Yeah. So that's why fit's really important. And I understand that we went through a professional fit with Jackson. Thanks, Jackson.
Shout out.
We also included a lot of stuff that you can just do at home with a mirror, with a camera, with tools that are around your house. So how we're gonna finish episode 2 is a shout out to the course, which is already dropped. Check it out. Promotional discount ends at the end of the year, guys. December 31st, it's up. So I'm gonna leave you with a clip from our fit section that we did.
So I'm gonna edit together a little 30-second teaser of this full 20-minute clip for you guys to kind of see what the course has to offer. And we're gonna throw that actually like probably within the next 15 seconds of this video for you guys to see.
Yeah, but let's talk about next episode.
Oh God. I'm not looking forward to it.
That's my trainer over there.
Yeah, off camera, Jeff's trainer is over there. I gotta do an FTP test to see where we're at.
Now that he's fit, we have to establish a baseline for his fitness. So I'll catch you guys in the next episode. As always,
Peace.
cheers.
Hey guys, I'm Jackson. I'm the head bike fitter here at Mike's Bikes. I work in the San Rafael location. I have been bike fitting for about 10 years. I've seen it all, and I've got a few tips of how to get most of the way there at home on your own. So the way that I would do this is to start from the ground up. So working from the cleats and pedals up to the saddle and then up to the handlebars. First thing, diving into the cleats. What you're looking at is where the cleat sits on the shoe. And so that's the fore and aft adjustment. The side to side adjustment, what I look for is getting your foot underneath your knee. So if your knee is a little bit out, you want to get that foot underneath by sliding the cleat inward on the shoe, moving your foot out. It's easy to get cleat dyslexia. You can do this by looking into a mirror. Make sure it is dead straight on and you're not at an angle or anything. And you can see if your knee is to the outside or to the inside. And the quick and easy way of adjusting that is by moving the cleat to compensate that. So you've got your cleats set, now let's set the saddle position. And so we're gonna start with height. So you measure this down at the bottom of the pedal stroke. And the bottom of the pedal stroke is not the 6 o'clock position where it's vertical, it's at the furthest point away from the saddle, typically in line with the seat tube.